Okay, well, I got a little part of this video from Ryan Forrester, and he's at the megalithic wall in Cusco. I think it's right near the part of the wall that has like the rocks that look like a snake that goes along the wall. But he walks by a very curious looking rock that's in the middle of the wall that has a significant part in it that does not belong. It's different from all the rest of the characteristics of the cuts that they made these stones, and the stone that they matched. It looks like this stone broke in half, and this is the broken edge right here. And instead of, like, maybe something happened to this other broken part of the rock, like this one survived and this one like maybe broke off and crumbled or something, but they patched it with a rock from a much older stone quarry. Like, this rock is not from the same quarry that these other stones are from. These ones down here kind of look like it, but they don't look exactly like this one. This rock was used to patch and repair this one that broke, but they got this patch rock from somewhere else, and somehow they were able to cut and merge all these jagged edges that happened from the rock breaking in half. Somehow they didn't take the two halves from a single broken rock and put them back together. No, they took a rock from a completely different quarry, cut it jagged edge to jagged edge, and matched it perfectly to repair the rock to make it whole again, and then they just continued pace after that. They just like, alright, this one broke, go give me the patch repair rock stone. Alright, merge it with that one. Alright, good job. Alright, let's continue. Slap, 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 slap. It's like there's this one rock right here that's out of place. Very out of place. Like, if you look at the lines and the patterns of the stones, they're all straight and flat edge lines, but then you got this one that goes up right in the middle of this stone, and then you have another stone that's connected to it that's from a completely different rock, a completely different quarry. Somehow they were able to cut the sides that they originally had for this rock as a whole, maybe before it broke. Like, they cut these edges to match these ones, but how on earth were they able to measure and cut perfectly to match a jagged, broken edge like that? Like, they would have to, like, measure all the little nooks and crannies that the rock created when it's split in half, and they'd have to carve that stone from somewhere that came from somewhere else perfectly to match it. Like, if something breaks in half and there's two pieces, you can usually, cleanly put them back together and like glue them back together. But they didn't do that. They took a broken rock and glued a completely different rock from somewhere else and cut it to match perfectly with all these broken edges. So you can see this rock really stands out to me. If you can study how they were able to merge these two different stones together to basically repair this one stone that broke, obviously, right down the middle. You figure out how they were able to merge these two stones together using the technique that they were using, you'll discover how they did the rest of these, rocks. The technique that they were using to connect all these stones together, they used right here as well. But this is a lot more complicated than just a flat edge. This is a lot of different jagged edges that they had to match and merge together to get two different types of stone to fit together. That is very curious work. This one stone is a clue to how they were doing the rest of the walls like this. However they were able to merge this old stone with this broken stone that they were using to build the wall at the time is the key to the technique that how they were building these walls, all together, basically. I'm very surprised that Mr. Forrester walked right by it and he didn't really notice it. He's good at spotting different, different building types, like the Inca built with rough stone, and he could see the difference between the rough stone by the Inca and the megalith structures that obviously were built by somebody else. But this was built by the Metholithic builders, but this was like a repair patch job to a stone that broke. So that's a very big clue to what they were doing back then and how they were doing it. I think this one stone right here should be should be looked at and studied intensely. There might be a clue there that would tell us how they exactly built these walls and got these stones to merge together flawlessly. In Cusco, this is Metholithic Peru, exploring the evidence around and in Cusco by Brian Forrester, and it's about 16 minutes and 18 seconds into that video, and you see this one unique stone that was a broken repair patch job with a stone from a much older and aged rock quarry, and they were able to analyze all the jagged edges and cut the other stone to match it, patch it, and they just continued forth with the rest of the wall. Very impressive.
Scale. And everything is curved. You see polygonal stones.
See, there's the snake right there. The snake that they
And it also appears that they made animal designs. This seems to be a snake design that was incorporated into the construction of the wall by the original mysterious megalithic builders.
Yeah, see, that's curious and everything, but he just walks right
And
by
here we're
this
going to
one
see
stone.
That the original megalithic builders,
See, here it is.
again, were working on a very profound scale.
Just went right by it. Like,
And
that is
curved.
stone right there
Polygonal
is a
stones.
repair job. That is a repaired stone that was that broke and was an
And here
accident.
we're going to see that the original megalithic builders.
Yeah, how does he just walk right by it? This is a big clue. Look, you can clearly see that this cut right here stands out from the rest of the cuts. This cut was not planned, but somehow it was no big deal to just throw a different rock right in there from some quarry from who knows where, from a much older rock stone, and just went, all right, throw it in there. All right, good job. All right, keep going. There's a interesting clue here about those Metholithic builders and how they did this right there in that one stone. Because this stone's characteristics really stand out. They wanted one whole stone like these, but they ended up patching it with this rock from somewhere else.